Hi, today we will be looking at the real meaning of using addition and subtraction operations by solving some word problems. One particular type of story problem is when we have a part-whole situation. We have a part-whole situation, okay? A part-whole situation is when we have two parts. We have one part and another part. And when we combine those two parts, that makes up a whole. Okay? Now, you might think, do the two parts need to be the same or can they be different? Well, to answer that question, let me tell you that those parts can be different. One part can be bigger than the other part, but still when you combine them, they make up a whole. Okay, so let me give you an example. So if the whole was 5, okay, and one of the parts was 2, what does the other part need to be in order to be a total number of 5? Okay, so let's see, I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that will be one way in which you can combine two parts to make 5. But are there any other ways? Let's see. What if I only had 1 in this part? So how many would I need on the other part to make up 5? Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now I had 1 and 4. Okay, one part with 1 and another part with 4, and they, when combined together, they make 5. Now, a part-whole situation might involve a story in which we don't know what the whole is. Sometimes we might not know what the whole is. Okay, so we say that the whole is unknown. Let me show you an example of that. So I have 3 red marbles and 2 blue marbles. How many marbles do I have? To solve this problem, I'm going to draw my model for my part-whole representation. Okay, and I'm going to represent this story. So how many marbles do I have? I don't know that yet. So I don't know what the whole is. I'm trying to find out what the whole is. But I know the parts. Okay, I know that I have 3 red marbles, and I know that I have 2 blue marbles, because that's what my story is telling me. I have 3 red marbles and I have 2 blue marbles. How many marbles do I have? What's the whole if I combine these two parts? Okay, so when I combine 3 and 2, I realize that my whole is 5. So now I know what the whole is now. It's 5. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is write this, represent this story with an equation. Okay, so in this case, I did not know what the whole was. Okay, so that I didn't know, but I knew that that whole was going to be equal to the 2 parts that I had, and I knew what those parts were. One of the parts was 3, okay, and when I combined that 3 red marbles with the 2 blue marbles, that's when I realized that my whole was 5. So the whole 5 is equal to 3 red marbles combined with 2 blue marbles. So 5 equals 3 plus 2. Okay. Another way would be like writing, okay, the 3 red marbles plus 2 blue marbles, and that will be equal to a whole of 5 marbles in total. Okay, so in this case, I didn't know what the whole amount of marble was, and that's what I had to figure out, so the whole was unknown. Another part whole situation might involve a story in which we might know what the whole quantity is, but we might not know what one of the parts is. That's when we have an unknown part. We're going to do an example of that. Okay, so I have 7 marbles. 3 of the marbles are red and the rest are blue. How many marbles are blue? So in this case, I know the whole. I know how many marbles in total are there. So drawing my part whole model, I'm gonna say that I have a whole of 7 marbles. And in this case, I'm representing the marbles with circles. 7 circles representing the 7 marbles that I know that I have in total. That's the whole. I also know that 3 of the marbles are red, so I know one of the parts. Okay, I know that this part has 3 red marbles, but I don't know what the other part is. All I know is that the rest of the marbles are blue, but the story is not telling me how many marbles are blue. It's just telling me that the rest of the marbles are blue. So knowing that the total amount of marbles is 7, and knowing that I already have 3 marbles that are red, I'm gonna figure out how many of the marbles are blue. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now I have discovered that the other part has 4 blue marbles. Okay. Now knowing that, I can say that if the total or the whole was 7, and that 7 was equal to one of the parts, it was 3 red marbles, but I was missing the number of blue marbles. But now I know that that missing term was 4. So I've just wrote an equation right now. 7 equals 3 plus 4. Another way would be saying that I had 7 marbles as a whole, and if I subtract the 3 marbles that are red, what's gonna be left? What's gonna be left? The part that is gonna be left is the part that has 4. Okay, so that's another way in which I can write an equation about this story. Okay, so this time I knew the whole amount of marbles that I had, but I didn't know the amount of blue marbles. Okay, I didn't know one of the parts. So this is it for this time. Okay, thank you.